right, thank you, Cal, and thank you to all the speakers who came today to share inspirational stories and experiences. Do we have a good day?
Excellent.
There's a lot going on in my head after today also. But simply one thing on my heart. Having shaken hands of folks from Florida, folks from Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie, when I say your name, supposed to yell. A little slow, Poughkeepsie. But after shaking so many hands from so many folks in our district, all over the state and the country, what's resonating in my heart is that we're all public educators. And regardless of which class we're in the district, or which district we're in a state, or which state we're in this country, we're all doing it for the same reason. And it's the same work, just a different culture in every individual community. We will do this. My mom said it to me best. We're the last ditch hope for this profession. There's folks out there every day trying to bring this thing down. We need to save it. And we will do that by doing what people were doing 30 and 40 years ago, with promoting thinking, creativity, problem solving. Yes, the tools are different, but the skills are the same. And I hope that you heard, like I heard today, that that's happening and can happen. And there are folks who are thinking about it in that way. But this room isn't full. And folks in my position and your positions, we're getting beat up every day because we're thinking and doing the work this way. So the question I would leave you with, and I would hope that we can continue online, is how can we in the minority, doing what's best for children, going to survive it? How are we going to be here next year? See, after the first conference, I said this, and I said, I hope we can do this for another 5 or 10 years. And I continue to say that. I hope we can continue to do this and create thinkers, support young people. We didn't talk much about test scores today. Y'all notice that? We had a 6-hour conference with superintendents, assistant superintendents, consultants, and no one talked about a test score. Yet we have folks who are controlling purse strings and oftentimes our tenure talking only about test scores. You see, there have been a lot of adult voices on the stage today, and I thought I would leave you with the most important one, a student voice. A young person who has done exceptional things in our community and in our school district. And when we wear those shirts proudly in Wegmans and everywhere else we wear them, they say 6,000 plus thinkers on the front, and 6,000 plus thinkers on the back, engaged, educated, and empowered on the front. I see her face along with 6,000 others. So with that, I wish to introduce to you the last voice you're going to hear today, Ms. Joelle Payne. Joelle, come on now.
Payne. I'm a senior here at Ithaca High, and I've been doing theater ever since I was 6 years old. I've been singing since I could talk, which was around 3. And, sorry, I lost my place. I was in my first show when I was 6. It was a very small production of The Wizard of Oz at my after-school program, and I remember how excited and incredibly nervous I was, especially for auditions. I remember going in with the lyrics to Summer of the Rainbow and thinking I got to nail this. And I went in and I sang with all my little heart. And later that day, the head counselor came up to me, took me aside, and told me that they wanted me to be Dorothy. And on the night of the show, I was very, very nervous. But I told myself that I would make it the best that I've ever done it. And, at least according to my mom, I did. I'm also not good at public speaking, so I get very nervous too. It was at that point, right after that first show that I did, that I decided that I wanted to do theater. I started auditioning for these shows at local theaters, and in 5th grade, I was in my first professional show at the Kitchen Theater. Then the summer after my 6th grade year, I was in the Hangar Theater's main stage production of Once on This Island. That was one of the best experiences of my life. The cast became more than just fellow actors to me. They were like a second family. And I got the honor of meeting a man who would go on to be one of the most influential person in my life, Jesse Bush. It was because of that show and because of Jesse that I got to be in my next 2 professional level shows the following year. Children of Eden at IC, which I did at the exact same time that Payne was doing Annie, and doing 2 shows at once is joyful madness. I also got to be in my 2nd main stage production at the Hangar Theater, The Piano Lesson. In addition to those, I've done every school musical ever offered since 6th grade, and I have participated in Running to Places theater group ever since 7th grade. And through everything, Jesse was silently watching over. He would recommend me for small things like fundraising events, and he would give people my name when there were job openings for behind-the-scenes work at the Hangar. He even nominated me to receive an award at the Hangar. I also saw him in many productions as well, and every time I saw him in a role, the more determined I was to be as amazing as he was. And when I think about it now, I realize that he's the reason I know that I want to do theater for the rest of my life. Doing theater has also provided me with very unique opportunities as well. For example, I was recently recognized by the local Elks Club, and they wanted me to represent them in a beauty and talent competition, which I went to and was proudly named Queen Elkdom. And now this weekend actually, is Nationals, and if I win at Nationals, I receive a $9,000 scholarship for college. Of course, though, theater is not always easy. It has its moments, like when you get beat out for a part, kind of hurts. And also, you can have the occasional bad director or bad stage manager, but the feeling of being on stage in front of all of you is well worth it. And I love theater more than words can express. And in musical theater, we say that characters sing when normal words can no longer express how they are feeling. And so instead of me trying to tell you how I feel about theater, I'm going to show you how I feel about theater. I sing in a song for you. Let me just set it up real quick.
Suddenly the rain
and my mind spun around in space, and yet I watched it growing. And if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to identify the things we see. Tell us, should we run away? Should we try and stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy, but it taught me to love, and so it's real to me. And I learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love, like yours, like mine, like
Wow. I used to sing like that. And with that, thank you, Imagine Learning, for making this possible. Darren, you guys have been great. IPEI, PC3, all the folks who have collaborated to make this day possible. And thank you all for traveling so far to be here. The folks have come a long way. The folks here in Ithaca who took the time to be here. And with that, I know that some folks are coming for tomorrow's forum, where Jim Walker will do some more interactive work, and we'll dig deep into game-based learning. If you have time to step out for that would be great. And I appreciate all that you've done. So thank you for being here. Have a good evening.